Going to board committees, board policy development. We just sent in the contract to the ISAB to start looking at our policies. One of the parts that will go hopefully hand in hand with that is our parent handbook. That's on the handbook is on our board packet for us to look at. There are changes that need to happen with time dates and stuff like that. So hopefully once we start working on the board policies, that they work hand in hand with the handbook. So, buildings and grounds.
Nothing really major going on right now. We've had Patter's been out doing some training, just continuing to do some of the backlog stuff that we didn't get to over the summer. We're still doing that and keeping up with the grounds outside.
Any questions for buildings and grounds? Thank you. Communications committee.
Okay. Jen and I have been working diligently. We announced back in August that we wanted to add community members to the communications committee, and there was a link on our school website where individuals from the community, if they were interested, could fill out the application online to be considered to be one of these committee members. Well, Jennifer and I, we had 8 total candidates. Of the 8, 4 really caught our eye that we decided that we wanted to bring those individuals in and interview. Jen and I did spend 2.5 hours interviewing 4 great individuals with a lot of different ideas and just different reaches into the community. And tonight, Jen and I are going to make the recommendation that we add the following individuals. And if you're here, please stand up so the audience will know who you are. Jason Murray, Alan Kita, Maria Lala, and last but not least, Sam Palazzo. So these are our new 4 committee members that are going to join the communications committee. Jen, anything?
No, thank you. Thank you for giving your time and being willing to make this type of a commitment. It's very much appreciated.
Discussion. Motion to approve the communication committee community members as presented.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Discussion. Roll call, please.
Mr. Biondo?
Yes.
Mr. Bellafiore?
Yes.
Mrs. Paletti?
Yes.
Mr. Lutston?
Yes.
Mr. Anasivich?
Yes.
Mr. DeGiulio?
Yes.
Motion approved. The communication committee community members as presented. Thank you guys for your time. Finance committee.
Nothing to report.
Thank you. Negotiations. The in our collective bargaining agreement, we have where about once a quarter or so we get together with the association president and one of their members to get together to have a conversation. Is there anyone on the board that has not done it yet? The dinners that we had. Oh, you did it last time, right?
I just
right.
I did last.
Okay. Has anyone done it twice
What time frame are we referring?
since you started? Just I just want to make sure I
Yeah,
covered it.
I've done it twice.
Okay. Anyone else done it twice? Okay. All right. So they're gonna send me a couple of dates, and then I'll reach out to. Does anyone want to volunteer to sit on? Or you just had it? You were just there.
I can do that. I can go number 2.
All right. So
We're all
okay. So between Warner and Mike, we'll check on the dates, and then we'll figure out what a good date is. Thank you. Park District.
Park District, we are still in negotiations. If you notice farther down the agenda, it is up tonight to approve to approve an agreement to send over to the park. That will be after closed session tonight. It looks like we're just on the wrap up, and this should be the final part of it, sending it over to them.
Thank you. Any questions?
We also had a meeting, just to add, we had a meeting today, and we'll be looking to follow suit with involving the community members into the Park District Committee. So we'll be sending out information on that. So if anybody wants to join, we would like that. That's it.
Thank you. ISAB delegate, Mike.
You have two pieces of information in front of you. One for the pre-conference workshop, which for those of you who have not attended, I think you should really attend at least one of the meetings. They're very helpful. You get to network, you get to go out and meet a bunch of different people and find out what they're doing in their districts and see if it could help us, and also you'll be able to finish your courses and get ahead of some of your courses in there. And then also you have the 2017 resolution committee that's going to be adopted. So if you could look through that, if you have any questions on it or anything, I'll get back with our district rep, Perry Hill, and then or the resolution chair, and then she'll take it to the assembly, and then we'll vote on it. These are the folks that go down to Springfield and push for what the schools need, or try to push for what the school needs. We all know how that turns out, but they work very hard, and we have accomplished several things, but there's more to accomplish. So if you find anything in here that you want changed or you'd like to add something, please let me know and I'll send it on. That's it.
Any questions?
Not about this, but I just want to make a comment about adding the community members to the committees, just to kind of bring everybody up to speed on, I think, why the district's doing this, if that's okay.
Sure.
So if you don't know, the reason that the district is adding community members to certain committees is, one, to get community involvement so you know what's going on with the schools. Number two, it's kind of like a training. You know, we've had members in the community ask us, you know, what do you have as something for us to use as a way to, you know, prepare ourselves to be on the board? Is there rubrics? Is there training? Is there something? And being on these types of committee shows you the time commitment you're going to put in, kind of the discussions we have pertaining to the schools and, you know, the different committees, and also, you know, when there is time to fill a vacancy or when there is an upcoming election and someone's stepping down, you know, in my opinion, you would be the next candidates to step up because you're already proving to the community you're willing to put in the time by sitting on a committee that is volunteer. So, you know, that's kind of like you're training as you're sitting on these committees. And even if one of us has an accident or there's an emergency vacancy that needs to be filled, you know, this is a way for Dr. O'Malley to come to the chair of each of the committees and just say, give me a recommendation from your group. Who do you think could fill the seat if we needed to? So it's a way for you guys to train and get involved and kind of learn the operations of the school district. Right? I mean,
Very good.
so
Thank
just
you.
wanted to share.
Old business, as you can see, there's the student handbook there. So what I would just say is please read all 76 pages, and if you have any comments on there, please let Dr. O'Malley know what they are. And I can just do one of us. And so, I mean, there are some dates in there. I already highlighted some of the stuff, but if you see anything, please send that to him, and hopefully we could incorporate that in at a different date so we could get the handbook up. Any new business? Board comments. Thank you. All right. Public participation.
Yes.
Yes.
There's only one, Trish.
Schulteis.
Schulteis. All right. Sorry.
Hi, I'm Trish Schulteis. I am the co-president of Norwich Education Association of Teachers. And we'd just like to share tonight that our association would like to congratulate several of our members on their recent academic achievements. Erin Hopkins Savage just received her master's degree in special education. Suzanne Smith received her master's degree in teaching and learning with an ESL endorsement. And finally, Ingrid Kreppas received endorsements in middle school biology as well as middle school general science. So we just wanted to share that with everybody.
Thank you.
Morning.
Would someone else like to add their name on the
Oh,
list?
yeah. You guys.
Could you please state your name?
Sure. Frank Trabuzio. Keep saying the same stuff. I'm going to say it again. I don't have more than 110 districts to compare us to right now, but I'm going to repeat those stats about the 110 elementary schools districts in Cook County. I'll start with the good news. The 2017 PARC scores is about to come out, so I can only mention the 2015-16 PARC score, which is still available for review at the Illinois Report Card website. District 80 received 50.3 score, which is the 30th highest score out of the 110 elementary schools in Cook County. That means 73% of the 110 have a lower PARC than District 80. I know that PARC is still relatively new. I know a lot of other districts are working out the bugs with that, but that's still an accomplishment. But out of the 110 districts, only 11 spend less than Norwich District 80 per student. This figure of expenditure per student includes teacher and administration pay. So 98 of those 110 districts spend more per student. So that's 90% spend more. So the idea that where this district pays out too much is wasteful is simply not true. Compared to who, I can't imagine. Those 11 that spend less than us, Penoyer is one of them. If I were to list off the other 11, some of them you'd recognize as economically depressed towns. You wouldn't be surprised. The way that what the kids are getting here kind of highlights that some do not realize what happens in the world around us or the districts around us. Common people don't normally research other districts, but that's pretty stark when 11 of 110 spend less than this district. What else did I find in here? Some people will say, why can't we cut administration costs? Well, remember, we don't have assistant principals or other auxiliary administration positions. In an analysis of all 371 elementary school districts in Illinois, 78% spend more on administration than Norwich District 80. The students have been taught well, and that's why I brought up the PARC scores, but the scores are based on reading and math. Am I right to say that? Mm-hmm. Both being core subjects. The funding situation we have here threatens other programs like music, sports, languages, and clubs. Programs most parents had as students. If these are cut, what are we telling the youth of this town? Thanks for your effort. We want you to study hard, but you don't deserve much more than reading math and science. That's what I want people to think of.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Does anyone else like to sign in to speak? Thank you. Discussion. Need a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call, please.
Mr. Delafiore?
Yes.
Mr. DeGiulio?
Yes.
Mr. Lutzer?
Yes.
Mr. Biondo?
Yes.
Mr. Alcides?
Yes.
Mrs. Paletti?
Yes.
Motion approved. The consent agenda is approved. Discussion. Need a motion to adjourn to closed session to discuss the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employee, the purchase or lease of real property, possible litigation, and negotiations.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call, please.
Mr. Biondo?
Yes.
Mr. DeGiulio?
Yes.
Mr. Alcides?
Yes.
Mrs. Paletti?
Yes.
Mr. Delafiore?
Yes.
Mr. Lutzer?
Yes.
Motion approved to go into closed session at 7:43. We'll be in there for 5 minutes.